Take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
He'll have a first down past the 40. Through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Jets have taken a first quarter lead. Well, they said they wanted to have some explosive runs. How about that one to start the game?
And I would say on the defensive sideline, there's a lot to answer for. Because you spend all week saying, stop the run. I don't care who you're playing. You don't want to get run over. You don't want to get run past. And they got both overcommitting in the secondary, and he just went stepping past them and is still running, essentially.
One play, and he hits pay dirt. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So now here are the Broncos for their first drive of the game. And they'll be led out by the guy under center, Charles, their quarterback.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
At the 30-yard line.
Back to throw here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Past the 20, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. That's a great response. You give up the first score of the game, but you go right down yourselves and get the equalizer.
I just had a flashback there. I remember playing in a game like that in college where one of my teammates had said in the media that week, the opposite team would be lucky to cross our goal line. They crossed it in the first minute of the game. On our first offensive play, we scored to answer back. Something similar to what we just saw there.
Very similar to what we just saw. Taking it about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A big play there with his second touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Jets have taken the lead.
Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25-yard line. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in. But I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now they try the right side here. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 23 yards the pickup there.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. And he'll give it here to his running back. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great play there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. On 3rd down, Love. And the ball comes out. Love lost it. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown.
So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
New York ready to go again offensively. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
2nd and 12 at the 20-yard line.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Boy, some big runs here, Charles, already in this first quarter.
Yeah, if the lanes are there, go ahead and exploit them. But what I like the most, how decisive he is.
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack.
A loss of 5 yards.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now Love. This will go for 5 up to the 33. The Jets with the football here to start the second quarter. They're looking at 3rd and 10.
Jets 14.
Love from the gun. Well, the pressure gets to Love, and he'll go down.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. And taken right at the 35. It's a nifty return of 29 yards. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They're working on a 4-game winning streak, and they lead this one as well right now as they start 1st and 10. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. Then all the way home for a Broncos score. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC?
Run after catch. And he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
And his kick is good. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. New York set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Offense. Man, this is ridiculous, man.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards.
Still first down.
Here's Love. Over the middle, it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. A Jet first down, 18 big yards that time.
First down, Jets.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. 38-yard line, 2nd and 11.
38-yard line.
To pass, here's Jordan Love. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Number 82.
That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And it's 3rd down.
Out of the shotgun, it's Love. And that is incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They are clicking on all cylinders. They seem to be just scoring at will right now, and that's why they've opened up this big lead.
You know, we always talk about getting into the zone, and all athletes are seeking that, aren't they? But everything is working for them. Every move they make works. It clicks, and they are on point right now.
Yeah, they are in that zone that you're talking about. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Number 6. Brought down at the 35-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football.
3rd and 2.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly, and this one could be coming back. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hole.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? On the move to his left. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Well, that's one way to convert on 3rd down, picking up 26 yards. And he'll give it here to his running back. The 20. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6. A huge play there for Denver. 43 yards on the ground. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
That gets them 3 yards closer here as it brings up 2nd and goal. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He's trying to get his 2nd touchdown.
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. A great effort there with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Broncos will extend their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
And he's brought down after a very nice gain. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Love now on second down. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No,
not at all.
And they'll indeed stop him on third down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. Here's Braden Mann now as he's on to punt for New York. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's over 40 yards here in the second quarter. Been nice and effective for them, hasn't he?
He has definitely been dependable, and really shouldn't underestimate what he's getting done here, because anytime you're on a pace that's going to approach 100 yards, you've really done some damage in an NFL game.
And now he's looking just to add to his totals. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it.
That's good.
Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Back to throw now on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And a potential turning point as they'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
From the contact.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Throwing again. Love. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18.
35. Jets 17.
So a late turnover leads to a quick drive, and in turn that quick drive leads to 3 points.
So someone makes a mistake, but how about the other side learning from that mistake, taking care of the ball, and making sure they put some points on the board? Well done.
A lane opens here. He's past the 30. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As now we send you outdoor lit. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. And he will finally be taken down at the Jets' 10-yard line. It's a big play there for the Broncos. Give him 55 yards on the ground.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos push further out in front. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football.
Yeah,
what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Second and 5.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On third down, Love. And this is going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's the Jets punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. It's a 39-yard punt, 3 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. And finally out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4. A huge play there for Denver. 58 yards. Not sure exactly what he saw that made him decide to hand it off, but a great decision and a fantastic run.
From our vantage point, what he saw was a defense that got out of its lanes, got out of its gaps, and they were pretty much running to the quarterback, viewing him as the bigger threat. And look at that wide open space.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great play there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And this offense is running away with this one. So the big play to kick off the drive set them up first and goal, and they're able to cash in right away on play number 2.
I think I'm starting to understand more and more when we get ready to do games and we meet with coaches why they talk about big plays, explosive plays, and how it sets them up for success, because that's exactly how they were able to score on this one. We saw the touchdown. We saw the payoff, but of course that big, long chunk play is what got them in position.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep him warm.
There he goes right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. 75 yards. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75 yards, and they find the end zone.
Don't you get the sense that film study was behind this one, that they saw something that they thought they could take advantage of? The key is calling it in the right situation, knowing when it exists to go to it. They did exactly that. They've got to feel really good about what they did in advance of this game.
Just looking down at the sideline now, their defense is like, man, can you have strung that out just a few plays? Give us a break. Back out there.
Hey, man, give that water break and get on out there and play.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
At their own 29-yard line.
Denver's offense ready to go again. Still well in control of this ball game despite giving up that touchdown a moment ago. And they give this time to the tailback. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
He's taken down.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
On the pickup. 2nd and 6.
They'll set up a throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. That one covers 29 yards, first down.
Well, I certainly don't want to pile on, but this defense has just not been up to the challenge in this game, and this continues as we see here. Coverage, not been very good, soft in spots. There's an easy throw and catch for another first down.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice. So shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route, and the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now a handoff looking right. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there. Of course you're going to give it to him.
And the Broncos are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Able to convert on 4th to bring. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Broncos add on.
Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
And the Jets set to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. 1 play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we usually think...
And the ball comes out. Love lost it.
Jordan Love sacked. Fumble on the play. Recovered.
Second time in this game, Charles, the ball has squirted out from his hands. Luckily, his teammate was there to pounce on it.
You're right. Got the lucky bounce, able to retain possession. You know, we often talk about the combine and why do we measure quarterbacks' hands. Is that really a big deal? It's for situations like this. Do you have the hands big enough and strong enough to hold on to the football while being jostled?
It's third.
The Jets on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. Working out of the gun. Love.
And that will be incomplete.
Forced to the ground and
I like what they tried to do there. Tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a 1st down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Denver getting set to take the field.
And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. They were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground.
And he's going to have the Broncos 1st down. His good running gets him to about the 44. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Patrick Queen
He's the culprit, dropping him for a 2-yard loss. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week, continuing to play at that level. And when you get that kind of confidence going, those kind of guys are hard to stop.
That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well fixed.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, just about everything they've run has been successful in this one. And if I'm the defensive coordinator, I'm done with this, right? I have no answers for anything. In fact, I'll probably send a note to the clock operator. Let it run.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
New York ready to go again offensively. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
At the 23-yard line.
To throw again. Love. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. 3rd and long for Love. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's the Jets punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And now off to the races down the right side. And they are going to finish this one off strong. It's a return touchdown to add on to their lead in the final stages.
Well, there's just about a minute left in this game, and they're still taking it into the end zone. And you know they could have taken a knee there, but they decided to play this one all the way out. And I think their philosophy is, we're going to give you everything we've got. If we just go ahead and take a knee now, we're actually showing you disrespect that way, like taking pity on you. They're not about to do that to their opponent.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. That'll be taken about a yard deep. And he returns this to the 22.
Take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
So out now come the Jets. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
And it brings up third down.
One last shot now for Love. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Denver, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Jets, it's a loss that sets them back in their playoff push as they fall to 6-5. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head up to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.